Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for a special episode today as we take a quick look at a care package that I received recently from a great friend of mine in the hobby and someone that most all of you know, Doug, over at DK Cardboard. Doug and I have been friends for quite a while now. Really appreciate his approach to the hobby and his great sense of humor. He's a very important part of the community here, and he has inspired me in many ways in my collecting and my YouTube venture, one or two of which we will touch on in today's video. And Doug, sort of out of the blue recently, reached out to me and let me know that he had a card or two he wanted to send my way. And a while back, I found this in the mail. This has been around now for probably a week or two. It's been very busy over here, but happy to make some time for it finally and get this up on the channel. We have a nice note here. Shane, some cards that made me think of you. They're hoping to qualify for Shoebox Legend status. Super grateful for our friendship. Best, Doug. And Doug is many things. He collects, vintage, a little bit of modern. He's a Lars Nootbaar enthusiast. He's into, long before I was, bridge players and Negro League players. In fact, Doug's channel was one of the earliest channels that I remember bumping into on YouTube that was really focusing on collecting those players, the Luke Easters of the world. And I had always given some thought to that side of the hobby, and I'd collected some of those guys, but I never really dove in until the last year or two. And Doug's channel was a huge part of the inspiration to get me more interested in those individuals and their really important stories. And that's a great segue into both this card that we have up in the background, which is a Mother's Cookies PCL card, a recent pickup that I just put back there because I figured Doug would enjoy that one. And it was a fitting card because he included in this package this Monty Irvin from Topps, I want to say Topps Archives in the last year or two, but this is a imagined Monty Irvin on the 55 Topps design with a green background that nicely matches, pardon the glare, that Piper Davis. And of course, Monty, one of the very early bridge players and one of the most important bridge players, and someone who I know Doug collects as well as myself. There is quite a bit of overlap between Doug's interest levels and areas and mine in the hobby, and that's probably not entirely coincidence. As I said, Doug was, and still is, a very big influence on me in a good way when it comes to kind of shaping my hobby. So I don't ever recall having seen this Monty Irvin, but I was thrilled to find this in there, and a great start to this package. And before we move on to the next card, I do have this one up in the background. I haven't shown this in a while, but it's been on the channel before. This is my oldest soccer card in my entire collection from 1895. Just an amazing image. And I got this via Doug. Doug found this online, picked it up, and sent it to me out of the kindness of his heart, just knowing that I'm a soccer fan. And to me, that's, just mind-blowing and a good example of what a special and thoughtful person Doug is. As anybody who's interacted with him knows, he is just a stand-up guy. Looks like we have two more singles and even a pack of cards here. So let's do this second single here. And this one is really cool. I have seen these cards on Doug's channel. I'm sure of it. These came out in the mid-70s. I want to say 75 or 76. Copyright 76. And they're oversized cards. This is an entire set of cool Papa Bell cards. And this is his time as the Monarchs manager. I think he was the manager for, he was the manager for their number 2 team or their secondary team from 1948 through 1950. Great write-up on the back here. And this is actually, reading this now, I've never owned this card or seen this, but I love it. An interesting perspective here on the ending or the decline of the Negro Leagues, because I learned this, you don't think about it off the top of your head, but I learned or had a greater appreciation for it after watching a documentary recently. But for every player that really got a lot of hope and inspiration by Jackie Robinson breaking the color barrier, there was at least one or more players who were never going to make it to the Negro League, to the major leagues, and who saw kind of the demise of the league that they were participating in professionally, the Negro Leagues. Once players started moving over and more talent started migrating into the major leagues, as referenced on the back of this card, looks like they lost, 19 players. Half of their 38 players, top 38 players when Cool Papa Bell was managing the Monarchs, went to the major leagues. So just an interesting perspective. Not sure what to think of that, but love this card. This photograph is all time. Just a great shot here, and honored, Doug, that you would share this card from your collection with me. That's one that I might have to, I don't think these are particularly valuable from a monetary standpoint, but that's one I may have to grade up at some point with SGC, just because I think it would look really nice in an oversized slab, just kind of like that soccer card flanking it. And then we have one really old cool card in here that I think was the catalyst behind Doug sending this, so we'll save that for last. But before we get to that, how about a throw-in of a hanger pack of 2022 Heritage Baseball? So this is awesome. I don't get to open a lot of product, and I'm just gonna, I hope you're okay with this, Doug, but I'm just gonna dive right in, and we're gonna open this on this video and see what I pull out of this. Looks like we get about 20 cards in this hanger. So we start off with Zach Wheeler for the Phillies, Adrian Hauser, got a Miguel Sano action shot there for the Twins, Brad Miller, Phillies heavy pack here in the early going, Justin Turner, Brian Reynolds, he's not a bad outfielder actually, Christian Walker, good first baseman for the Diamondbacks, Yanni Hernandez, not familiar with him, that's a rookie card for the Rangers, Hunter Renfroe, who briefly played with the Boston Red Sox, slugger, Josh Donaldson, believe he's retired now, Alfonso Rivas for the Cubs, Austin Hayes, and how cool is this? So this is a 2022 Heritage product, and I pulled the Aaron Judge base card, and of course what's notable about this, 2022 was the year that Aaron Judge broke the American League home run record set by Roger Maris 61 years earlier. And this is probably the single base card in the entire set that I would want to pull. And really cool and fitting that that one fell out of this pack. I've done a few episodes on Judge recently, and I actually have some more Aaron Judge content coming soon. So that is a perfect pull. Finishing out the pack, we have Mark Melanson and Liam Hendricks on the saves leaders. Here's a cool one. Dave Winfield makes his MLB debut back in '73. Love those brown and kind of tan Padres uniforms from back then. Got the nice stirrups, stripes on the pants. That's a great look. Wristband. Cool shot there of Winfield. AJ Pollock. Walker Buehler, I think, is making his return from injury, if I'm correct. Yan Gomes for the Cubs. Great catcher action shot there. I like that one quite a bit. Aaron Nola. We finish out the pack with J.P. Crawford. But a perfect pack in the sense that I pulled that Aaron Judge. That is killer. So really appreciate that, Doug. Always fun to rip through a pack of cards. And I will certainly be keeping this with a note alongside that it came from my buddy Decon. And then the final card, this is the one that I think Doug had given me a heads up on. But I have this soccer card here from the 1800s. And now from the 1900s, I have a Liebig soccer card as well. This one is based out of Italy, I believe. And I'm hoping Doug or others can fill in the comments if I butcher any of this. Apologies if I do. But look at the image on this card. Shot right on goal. The goalie is springing to stop the ball, headed towards the upper left corner. Got all these players in frame. Got the ref here, whistle in hand. Packed stadium, and what I love about this, you even have some Liebig advertising up in the background. I love that they creatively painted their own company name or brand name into the advertisements here on the stadium. I apologize, it's been crazy over here. You may or may not have told me this, Doug, but I don't recall what year this is from, but I'm going to guess early 1950s, maybe late 1940s. I can't translate the back. I don't know Italian. I think this is translates basically to meat extract. which I think is what these trading cards came packaged along with. And yeah, for those of us living here in the 2020s, the concept of a meat extract sounds somewhat unappealing from a dietary standpoint, but it was a pretty big thing back then, and I really, really dig these cards. Gonna have to make some effort to use an online translator or see if I can learn more about what's depicted on the front here. But obviously, you know, references Italiana, and Milano down here. So this is clearly an Italian Liebig soccer card. And I think I see, yeah, we've got the year 1945 referenced here. So this might be late 40s, early 50s, as I mentioned, but I will have to identify this because this one, I think, has an obvious destiny of being sent off to SGC to get slabbed up to match the wonderful 1800s illustrated soccer card that I've gotten from Doug in the past. So I can't believe I went over 10 minutes here. Sorry if I rambled, but I'm just a big fan of Doug. I really appreciate your friendship so much, buddy, and your channel, your approach to the hobby, your sense of humor, all of it. You're one of the good ones that certainly makes this community as awesome as it is. And I truly mean that I am extremely grateful to count you among my group of friends. So thank you, Doug. This was beyond thoughtful. And thank you to everybody else who stopped by. If for some reason you are not subscribed to DK Cardboard, please find a link below. Head over, show Doug some love. And in the meantime, I'll be back with some more sports card content. Till then, take care and enjoy the hobby, everybody. See ya.